Hey guys, it's Lego Boy Z3. Today is my 17th Q&A. So this is a series where I answer your guys' questions. So if you want to have your comment featured in the next episode of this series, then go ahead and leave that down in the comment section down below, and I'll look through those and then answer those ones next time. Now for my sanity, make sure that you don't leave a question that you can easily answer yourself. So here are 7 questions right here that could easily have been answered by looking at my WCA profile, which is on the About page of my channel, and there's a whole bunch of information there that you can see about my channel, and lots of things that are asked regularly on here, so don't ask those. Also, I am in a new room. This is my new recording setup thing. This is just kind of like a temporary setup. I won't do it all the time. I'll have my normal setup most of the time, but for now I have this cool white table in front of me and this cool background. But anyway, I'm getting off topic. Let's get back to the Q&A. Would you rather do 3x3 or Scube as an event for the rest of your life, the only event that you could do? Even though Scube is my favorite event, I would probably actually choose 3x3, because when it comes down to it, Scube is really just a less interesting puzzle. It has fewer pieces and fewer algorithms and fewer methods that you can learn on it. Whereas on 3x3, you could keep learning algorithms and subsets and different ways of getting faster forever. There's really no limit to it as compared to Scube, where there is kind of sort of a limit, and it's just a more interesting puzzle in general, and I think it would keep me entertained for longer. What puzzle in your collection takes the longest for you to solve? Well, I think if you go back to the video where I solved all my cubes, the one that took me the longest was the ghost cube. That doesn't actually normally take me the longest. I just kind of forgot how to solve it, really. I was doing it wrong half the time, so I think the longest would probably be the Gigaminx. Can you make a 5x5 tutorial soon? Yeah, I have thought about this. It's been on my schedule for a really long time, but I just kind of keep putting it off because it's really hard to make videos like that. It takes forever. It's just a lot of effort. But yeah, eventually I will make one, probably within the next few months maybe, but not immediately. This person is asking if there is a good budget 6x6 under $20. There actually are 2 of them, I believe. They're both from YJ, the Guanxi and the Yushi. I believe they're almost the same cube, just stickered and stickerless. So go and get one of those. They're both under $20. But if you want to spend a little bit more money, you can get something like a Weishi or a Wu Hua, I think this is, or the Yushin Red. Those ones will all be better value for your money. What exactly is a PB? It just means personal best, so your best time in an event. Skittles or M&Ms? That's actually a pretty hard question. Not really sure, but since I have these with me, I'm just going to say Skittles for now. How do you find your competitions? Well, just go to worldcubeassociation.org and then click on competitions, and there will be all of the official WCA competitions. How many microphones have you had in the history of your channel? Well, if you're only counting standalone microphones, then I only have one, the one that I'm using right now. If you count camera microphones, then I guess I have my original one. I have the one on my dad's camera that I used for a while. I have the one on my Sony Handycam, and I have the one on this camera, but I never really used that one. So plus this one, maybe 4? Throw cubes at your camera. Well, okay. Yeah, I missed. Whatever. Would you rather have as many subscribers as PewDiePie or as many world records as Felix Zemdags? I'm not sure who Felix Zemdags is. I looked him up and nothing really came up. So I guess the first one? Moyu Gains or Valk 3? I'm assuming that you're talking about the GTS and the Air. Well, out of all of those, the only one that I actually have is the Valk 3. I don't have a lot of 3x3s, so I can't really say. But yeah, before this one, the newest 3x3 that I have is a Thunderclap, and then the Weilong, the original Weilong. That's the only Moyu 3x3 that I own. And before that is probably the Diane cubes. So yeah, I'm really not the best person to ask about good 3x3s. What was your first cube and when did you get it? This right here is my original Rubik's 3x3. I got it in 2011, probably early 2011. And yeah, this is my first cube. Turns pretty alright for a Rubik's brand because I used it so much. It has CubeSmith tiles on it. Do a barrel roll. Well, alright. Eat the thing closest to you. Go. Let's see. The only food that I have in this room, I believe, are these Skittles. So, guess I'll have some Skittles now. Kind of old. Still good though. When you get the 17x17, will you scramble and solve it? Well, since I made that last Q&A video where I said that I might get a 17x17, Chi actually said that they were coming out with a 19x19, so I'd probably get that one if it came out in kind of a similar time frame. And yes, I definitely would scramble and solve it because Red KB's video of solving a 17x17 got like 12 million views, so not passing that up. Will you do a giveaway of all of your bad cubes? No, I hate questions like this. I hate questions where people are asking me to give away random puzzles or asking me to sell random puzzles because honestly, it probably cost me more to ship those puzzles to you than it would cost you to just go out and buy them. And why would you spend money on buying bad cubes? You wouldn't. So yeah, I'm just going to keep all the bad cubes in my collection and not waste money on giving them away. Why is ZZ called that? It's because the creator of the method's initials were ZZ. Do you think people really need magnets in cubes? Well, no, you don't need anything in a cube. You could just be using a Rubik's brand. But I think it does definitely help. Of course, the reason people have magnets is to improve the stability of the cube and of course give a tactile feedback kind of bump every time you turn a side. And actually my times when using magnetic cubes, especially like a 4x4 or a square one of those types of cubes that are really unstable without magnets, that get more stable when you use them, my times on those cubes have actually improved noticeably since I've added magnets to them. And that's not just me. If you actually go and look at the 6x6 world records, those have been brought down by like 5 seconds, which is insane at that level, improving by that much. Since Felix Zemdegs and Kevin Hayes have gotten magnetic 6x6s. So it definitely does help, especially for certain cubes that are generally more unstable. For like a 3x3, it may not help quite as much, but it definitely does give a little bit of an advantage in certain cubes. How long did it take you to learn all the CFOP algorithms? I'm assuming you're just talking about OLL and PLL because Cross and F2L don't really use algorithms starting off with. PLL, I believe I did that in around a month, maybe 2 months, back in June of 2015. And OLL just very recently, like a few weeks ago, I learned in 4 days, excluding the dot cases, and then just a couple days ago I also learned those dot cases, so I guess 5 days in total. So yeah, that's about how long, a month and 5 days-ish. But I actually started learning CFOP maybe, I don't know, 2-3 years ago, probably 3 years ago now. And also, do you love math? Well, I like math, it's probably my favorite subject in school. I wouldn't really say love though. Will you try out any new events in the future? I'm assuming you're talking about officially solving in WCA competitions. I am actually signed up for a competition, Longmont Summer 2017, I believe it's called, where I'm doing 6x6 and 7x7. So if I can make it under the cutoff by then, which I can't really do now, but I'm going to try to get by then I will be trying out those two. Also, unofficially, I'm going to be trying out a couple of new blind events pretty soon. I'll have videos on my channel about those coming up like in the next week, probably. What non-cuber YouTubers do you watch? Well, I actually watch a lot of them. I'm not going to list any of them off. But basically like tech channels, like computer hardware, things like that, and also science and like math channels, basically just things like that. Will you bring back top 5? That's actually a really good question because that was by far the biggest series ever on my channel. I did that around a year ago. I stopped around a year ago actually. If you guys would like to see more top 5 videos, then definitely let me know in the comments below because I would love to make more of them. I have some ideas for them, but I've been kind of hesitating actually making them because near the end of making those, when they kind of started to die off, I was getting quite a bit of negative feedback, people getting annoyed of making so many of them. But yeah, if you would like to see some new good ones, then go ahead and leave some comments down below and maybe I will actually do that. How long did it take you to make this video? I'm pretty sure you posted that comment just for the fun, but I'm gonna actually try and answer it, so I don't really know an exact number right now because of course I'm still making it, but it took me around an hour of just kind of on and off working to get all these comments onto a sheet. But yeah, I spend like 30 minutes to an hour gathering up all the comments for the video, and then I'll set up all my equipment and stuff and then actually record, which will take about another hour, and then editing will take probably another hour, and kind of putting it on YouTube and uploading it and adding all the titles and description and tags and stuff takes maybe 30 minutes, so I guess like 3-4 hours maybe total. Can you fully scramble your 8x8 including shapeshifting moves? So this is something that people have been asking me for a really long time, ever since I made that shapeshifting 8x8 video, and I think I'm actually going to try it. I kind of been putting it off because I didn't really want to deal with it and I didn't think it would really turn out that well, but I'm just going to start off scrambling it normally and then I'll shapeshift it. Okay, here we go. I'm not sure if you can mix double shapeshifting moves where you do 2 layers with single shapeshifting moves, so I'm just going to start off doing double ones. It's very easy for little pieces to pop out when you're doing this. I guess we turn it like this now. And I'm not really sure, can you actually shapeshift another layer now? I think you might be able to. But it looks like this is kind of the limit. You can't do any more than 1 single layer, but you can break it up quite a bit. Now it becomes bandaged, and it basically just functions. Oh, that's weird. Oh, I'm not sure if I want to do that. Oh, now I'm mixing up the pieces, and now I have something like that. Oh my gosh, this is crazy. Oh my gosh. So it looks like we have these chunks, and we have these smaller chunks that it kind of turns into. That's really insane. Maybe I'm gonna have to make a video on solving this now. Wow, I never thought it would get so crazy. What was your favorite and least favorite competition? My favorite was definitely US Nationals 2017, which I just got back from. Just the organization and schedules and venue and everything like that was just perfect. Yeah, I really enjoyed that. Least favorite, I'm not really gonna say like my least favorite. I enjoyed all of them. The most like boring overall was probably FMC USA, because you basically sit in a room for 3 hours and do FMC. But yeah, that's the least exciting one I can think of. If you could remake any video, what would it be and why? That's actually a really interesting question. I'm assuming you're talking about a video that got really popular and you didn't really like how it turned out. And I thought about this a little bit, and for sure it would definitely be how to make a dollar store Rubik's Cube awesome. That's what the title is called. It was super clickbait on accident. I basically just went to a garage sale and got a really old dollar store cube and like cleaned it out and put some lubricant in it and supposedly made it awesome. Basically overall it was just a really terribly made video, but for some reason it just got super popular. It's like the 4th most popular video on my entire channel. So yeah, I wish I could go back and actually put some useful information in there, because it's honestly just kind of me washing out a cube and lubricating it. What are your main cubes for every event? Well, every time I go to a competition, I'll make a video with my mains and goals. Also, every time I make a collection video, I'll have all my mains in there. So just go back, find the most recent one. That will be US Nationals 2017, and that will have all my mains for the events that I do. What's your favorite aspect of cubing? I'd say doing this, making videos, if that counts. There's lots of different aspects of cubing, I guess you could say, like speed solving and making mods and collecting different puzzles, which I do all of those a little bit. But when it comes down to it, I tied those all in together by this YouTube channel. So yeah, basically that. What did you average on 3x3 and Pyraminx a year ago, and what do you hope to average on them in a year? So on 3x3, if you look back at my Nationals 2016 results, I had just gotten a 21-second PB average, and I now average like 18 seconds, so like 3 seconds or so. On Pyraminx, I had just gotten a PB 636 average, and I just got a PB average on Pyraminx this Nationals, which was 6.0. So yeah, I guess I've only improved like 0.3 on this and like 3 seconds on this, because I never really practiced Pyraminx in that year, because the only 2 competitions that I went to were last Nationals and this Nationals. In a year from now, I hope to be definitely sub 6 on Pyraminx, because if I can get 6.0, I can probably get 5.9. Maybe I can get a little bit lower than that if I learn some new methods, things like that. 3x3, that's pretty interesting. I'd like to get actually down near like 15, like if I could improve another 3 seconds, that would be pretty nice in the next year. What was the first mod that you made? Well, if you don't count things like 1x1s and 1x1x2s, I would say the first actual mod that I actually like glued pieces together and used epoxy, things like that on, would be the 1x2x2, actually pretty close to those two. It still is trivial, but a lot more of a puzzle than those other two. So yeah, probably this one right here. Will you have a giveaway in the future? Well, yeah, when you're watching this video, I'm probably a few hundred subscribers away from 50,000, maybe already there already. But either like this weekend or the next weekend, I probably will be releasing a 50,000 subscriber giveaway. This is in response to my last Q&A where I said that I didn't do anything on my second channel. Why don't you do video games on your second channel? Well, honestly, I don't really have time to play video games. I don't play them very often at all. And also on YouTube, video games are a very competitive area of making videos. Like, it's very hard to get started right now, whereas I already have 50,000 subscribers here, so why not just stay here? And why spend my time making stupid gaming videos that no one will ever watch when I can make cubing videos? If you're standing and you drop a cube and the pieces don't fly out, will it affect performance? Well, let's try it. Standing. The pieces did not fly out. Is the performance affected? No, still seems to turn fine. But in all seriousness, if you don't notice any performance difference, then it's probably still fine. What non-WCA events would you like to see become WCA events in the future? There are things like the Killamix that a lot of people want to have be a WCA event. I'm not really sure about that one. But really what I would like to see is like more difficult WCA events, things like multi-blind or FMC. Maybe something like that that's harder, like something not like a 3x3 where you can just memorize algorithms and solve it every time. Something that's harder but maybe takes less time, so it's not as logistically difficult as things like FMC and multi-blind. But yeah, I'm not really sure what an event like that would be, but maybe something like that. If there are no speed cubes, would you rather use V-cubes or a modded Rubik's brand? Well, a lot of people associate V-cubes with being really bad, like a Rubik's brand bad. But V-cubes are honestly way better than a Rubik's brand. When they came out, that's why they were revolutionary, because they were so much better than what existed at that time, which was Rubik's brands. So yeah, I'd probably rather use that if I were able to mod it. I'm not sure how a V-cube would compare to a modded Rubik's brand if I weren't allowed to mod the V-cube. It would probably still be a little bit better though. And that is pretty much it for this Q&A. Again, if you want to have your questions featured in the next one, then be sure and leave those in the comment section down below. And I'll be sure to look at those and choose the good ones, only the good ones, to be in the next episode. And that's pretty much it for this video. I'll see you guys next time. Bye!